here, and this is a must-see attraction here in Manila Ocean Park. It's Christmas season, right?
Usapin, talakayin, opinyon, lilinawin kasama si Rosel Lopez, umaarangkada sa Spear Cyber TV.
Okay, mga kaibigan, magandang hapon po. Welcome sa programang Utol. Usapin, talakayin, opinyon, lilinawin dito lang sa Spear Cyber TV. At ito po ang Monday edition ng programang Utol. Bueno mga kaibigan, bago tayo magsimula at siyempre ako yung magiging kasama, kahuntahan, katropa pips, kajamming, kakosa, katabarkats, Rosel Lopez. At siyempre kasama natin sa technical side, si Joshua Mendoza. Ngayon mga kaibigan, bago tayo dumako sa ating pag-uusapan, ay batiin muna natin yung ating mga tropa pips, At mamaya pag-uusapan po natin yung 16th founding anniversary ng Social Housing Finance Corporation o itong SHFC. So bago yan mga kaibigan, ay batiin muna natin yung ating mga Tabarcats na laging nanonood dito sa programang Utol ng Spear Cyber TV. At unahin na po natin si Daniel Valdez ng Caloocan City. At syempre ganoon din yung ating Tito Rick Santiago na nasa Orani, Bataan, at ang anak niya si Al Santiago. At kung magagawin kayo sa Orani, punta lang kayo sa Orani, Bataan Public Market at hanapin niyo po ang Al Carinderia. At yun din yung kapatid ni Tito Rick na si Tita Meldy Santiago Angeles na nakabase naman po sa Mabalacat, Pampanga. Ayan, at yung ating mga tropa pips sa Ilocos Norte, sina Ma'am Jenny Dean at Roel Lambaro, Michael at Zeril Pebenito, si Ira at si Jenny ng Paraiso ni Animen sa Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. Ayan po. Aba, masarap po dyan. Kaya nga po Paraiso dahil para kang nasa Paraiso. At yun din ating mga tropa pips sa may area ng Bulacan, sina Police Colonel Orlando Castil Jr., si Chief of Police ng San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan, at si Magno Frendol ng San Jose del Monte City Prosecutor's Office. At siyempre yung aking kababata, yung kabats ko, si Jaime Santos Pahayag na nakabase na rin po dyan sa San Jose del Monte City sa Bulacan. At yung mga tropa naman natin sa Sandigan Bayan, sina Kuya Albert Abed de la Cruz, ang Chief ng Sandigan Bayan Sheriff Division, at mga staff niya sina Jomar Magdasok at Robert Steve Esteban, at sa yung mga kaibigan natin dyan sa Sandigan Bayan. Good afternoon po sa inyo. At yung ating mga kaibigan kagawad naman, sina Kagawad Sani Dadan Pineda ng Barangay Tugatog, Malabon City, din si Kagawad Nestor Rosita. At siyempre yung mga tropa natin dito, sila Kuya Tani at Demi Garcia, din si Ardi Montoya ng Office of the Vice Mayor ng Malabon City. At yung ating mga tropang kagawad naman sa may Maysilo, Malabon, si Barangay Kagawad Jerry Aquino. Ayan, good afternoon. At siyempre si Kagawad Ruben Almoy Tilichauco, Kagawad Bengbeng ng Barangay Pulo, Valenzuela City. At yung mga tropa pips natin dyan, sila Paring Joel, si dating Kagawad Bong, at siyempre yung aking team leader sa Rescue Rangers on the Road, si Hener Arias Gado ng Barangay Pulo, Valenzuela City. At siyempre si Bro Edwin Diaz ng Barangay Tagalag, Valenzuela City. Good afternoon. Siyempre ating National Treasurer ng Rescue Rangers on the Road, si Maximo Yob de la Cruz. Ayan, good afternoon. At yung tropa po natin sa PSTM mo, sina retired Police Major Estelito Peñano at ang kanyang mga tauhan na sina Perdi Soco, sina Ricalde, sina Ranyada at marami pa, sina Rizal de Cruz. Yan, good afternoon sa inyo at welcome sa programang Utol. At syempre, yung tropa natin sa CSU ng Malabon, si Rodel Viola. Ayan, good afternoon sa iyo, Boss Rodel. Welcome sa programang Utol. At syempre, si Grace Hilario Kobayashi yata, ng taga-PSTM rin po. Good afternoon sa iyo. Tsaka yung mga tropa natin dyan, sina Daisy. Ayan, ito nyo. At sino ba? Baka may nakakalimutan pa tayo. Ayan, yung Tambayang Batch 85, syempre na hindi sa Esguera High School. Sina Bossing Arnel, si Celso at Lisa Basilio, sina Amor, sina Marisa Cruz, si Milet, sina Luna Bell, sina Abner Libunao na nakabase Cebu, si Lili Bangilista na nasa US na po, at syempre si Joselito Doji Jim na ng Pagcor, at mga pisang kong sina Fernando Felix at Abed Santiago. Ayan, welcome po sa Utol, Tambayang Batch 85. Ayan mga kaibigan, so baka wala na tayo nakalimutan at medyo kung may nakalimutan man ako, ano na sa iyo. Pero muna, batiin muna natin ng happy birthday si Boss Willie India ng Malabon City ng Rush Flash Door. Ayan, nag-birthday po siya kahapon, 23 po ng Enero. Hindi ako nagkakamali. Basta belated happy birthday, Boss Willie India. May kantahan muna natin ang happy birthday si Boss Willie India.
Happy birthday to you.
So, bueno, muli, happy birthday, Boss Willie India, and many more birthdays to come, at more power sa iyo at sa Rush Flash Door. Okay, so mga kaibigan, at bago natin talakayin yung ating tatalakayin, ay magpapakilala mo po muna si Joshua kung saan kayong himpilan at kung saan kayong himpilang nanonood at nakikinig. Magbabalik po kami.
Nagbabasa ka pa ba ng dyaryo? Nakikinig ka pa rin ng radyo? Hindi na uso yan. Everything now is online. So, follow us. Like, watch, and share. Mga OFWs, narito na ang Spear Cyber TV worldwide. Napapanood kahit anong oras.
Usapin, talakayin, opinyon, lilinawin kasama si Rosel Lopez, umaarangkada sa Spear Cyber TV.
Okay, mga kaibigan, huli, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat at welcome pa rin sa programang Utol, at ako pa rin ang inyong kahuntahan, Kajaming Rosel Lopez, at sa technical side naman, kasama pa rin natin si Joshua Mendoza. So, bueno mga kaibigan, ngayon po ay talakayin natin yung nga sinasabi ko kanina, yung pong 16th founding anniversary ng Social Housing Finance Corporation o SHFC, kung saan po ay nagsagawa sila ng isang press conference kasabay nga po ng kanilang 16th founding anniversary, kung saan po siyempre ay ang naging host po dito at ang master ceremony ay si Miss Dinya Amil Malabanan, ano po, at siyempre nandun po yung ating mga opisyal nitong SHFC, sina SHFC President Attorney Arnulfo Ricardo Ricardo Cabling. At siyempre nandun din si Executive Vice President ng SHFC na si Attorney Junife Payot. At siyempre, hindi po pwedeng hindi dumating doon. At siyempre dumating din si Department of Human Settlements, Urban Development and Chairperson of the Board ng SHFC, si Secretary Eduardo Del Rosario. Yan po, kung saan dito mga kaibigan ay iniulat nila dito sa bayan kung ano na ang update at ang ginagawa po ng kanilang sangay dito pong SHFC nga. Kung saan po, sinabi nila yung mga nabigyan na nila ng pabahay, ng mga bahay, nabigyan na nila yung mga sa kanila, actually sa kanila parang humihiram. At kung halimbawa kayo po may nakitang lugar o grupo o asosasyon, co-op, meron kayong nakitang lupa ay kanilang iimbestigahan yon o aalamin kung magkano at sasabihin doon sa grupo na kung mahal ba o hindi. At sila po ang magpipinance po, parang gano'n. At para sa kanila kayo uutang pero maliit lang po ang hulog. Ika nga affordable. So bueno mga kaibigan, hindi na natin pagtatagalin at panoorin po natin at pakinggan yung ginawang press conference nitong SHFC kasabay na rin ang kanilang 16th founding anniversary. Panoorin po natin.
Sa ulit sa pamayanan. And to give us welcoming remarks, I call on our OIC Senior Vice President for Corporate Governance, Mr. Ruben Bassett, for the welcome address and introduction of the chairperson.
Secretary Del Rosario, members of the SHFC Board, to our President, our EVP, fellow officers, guests, and our friends from the media. Good morning. Welcome to our 16th founding anniversary. Today, we'll be presenting our ulat sa pamayanan. Actually, it is a report on what we have achieved so far regarding our mandate under the housing program. Our friends in the media might be asking, can you please introduce who you are? For those in the media, Social Housing Finance Corporation was created under Executive Order 272 in 2004. We are the youngest among the shelter agencies and is now the home of the Community Mortgage Program. We take pride in our community-driven approach so that our communities are empowered and self-sustaining in the process. So the next question right now will be, why do we celebrate it now? Why not last year or the 20th year? Well, our response to that would be a simple, why not? Why not now? Primarily because over the years, we have transformed to a developmental financial institution, taking inspirations from our communities. Initially, we have been implementing programs on a financial perspective. However, as we go along, we have become immersed with the program and understood the changing needs of our stakeholders. We saw the importance of the LGU-driven approach, as we believe partnerships can make our programs more inclusive and responsive. Our partners in this program actually are the LGUs, the NGOs, the contractors, the landowners, and even the community themselves. And so, here we are right now. Just like the butterfly, we have metamorphosed into a more dynamic and responsive institution for the communities. Right now, we're not just building houses and providing land for the homeless. We are building communities in its true essence. These things, however, in our report, we did on the achievements that we have undertaken later on. However, all these milestones would not have been responsible without the full support and guidance of our keynote speaker. If there's one thing that we can say about our keynote speaker for today, ang weakness na po niya, it comes from the military, pero ang weakness niya is actually, pag sinabi niyo tungkol sa mahihirap at saka homeless, yung kanyang witness at ito advocacy niyo. So, ladies and gentlemen, may we call on our chairman of the board, the first secretary of the Department of Housing, of Human Settlements and Urban Development, Secretary Eduardo Bertani.
Thank you. Please be seated. The President of SHFC, President Kabling, and all the officials of SHFC and employees, of course the EVP and all of the Board of Directors, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Well, indeed, this is a very momentous occasion for SHFC to celebrate its 16th founding anniversary. Ang sabi nga nung ina ni President Kabling, teenager pa daw ang SHFC. Sweet 16. So batang-bata ang SHFC as an organization, but in as far as its experience, it has been in the financing of business for the last 33 years. Having been the CMP program, the mode of modality in finance, that was previously being undertaken by the National Home Mortgage Finance Corporation. For the information of our friends from the media, we now have a new department, the Department of Human Settlement and Urban Development. And this came about with the signing of Republic Act 1121 by our President last February 14, 2019. So, upon signing of the Republic Act, we had undertaken steps to come up with our implementing rules and regulations, and eventually, the Department of Budget and Management approved our organizational structure and staffing pattern just this December of 2019. So effective January 1 of the year 2020, the department has been operating fully. And with the creation of the department, it was created with the merging of HADC and HLURB. So the personnel and resources of HLURB and HADC merged to form the nucleus of the Department of Human Settlement and Urban Development. And just the same, the key shelter agencies under it are of course the Social Housing Finance Corporation, Pag-ibig Fund, National Housing Authority, and the National Home Mortgage Finance Corporation. So we are still operating the same organizations, but now with different names and more direct functions so that we can deliver the goods, so to speak. So we had these structural changes so that we can deliver more for the benefit of our of the Filipinos, because there are 81% of Filipino families who wish to have a house of their own, and that is why it has been in the media that the need for housing until 2022 is pegged at 6.5 million housing units, and by the year 2040 it will jump to 20.6 million if nothing is done to change the trend, and for us in this housing sector to do something so that we can scale up and deliver more housing units. So our legislators and the executive had this new department in order to address the future needs of the Filipino people. And in the National Shelter Program, just for us to know, there are three major components in the National Shelter Program: regulatory, finance, and production. Regulatory is now being undertaken by the department. Before it is the job of XLURB. So department provides the regulatory functions in the housing sector. The finance aspect is now the job of the Social Housing Finance Corporation, Pag-ibig Fund, and the National Home Mortgage Finance Corporation. And production is the responsibility of the National Housing Authority. So that's the interplay of our delivery system of the National Shelter Program. The regulatory, finance, as well as the production aspects in the delivery of housing units. And for this year, we are pleased to announce that SHFC is launching various pro-poor shelter financing measures for 2020. Pro-poor financing measures, and one of which is by giving the lowest interest rate in the industry program at 3% per annum. Industry standard is 6% enough, but for socialized housing, we peg it at 3%. But this year, SHFC would like to take the lead and scale up by providing the lowest interest rate in the industry. And it is now pegged at 2% for socialized housing. And this is done so that the poorest of the poor in our country can afford the monthly amortization that they have to shell out. And that 2% per annum interest rate is really remarkable, outstanding, and I am glad that the SHFC management and the board had supported this move of lowering the interest rate in the housing industry. Wala na tayo makikita sa buong Pilipinas na nagbibigay ng 2% interest rate per annum. And likewise, as another initiative that would be launched today is the reopening of the penalty ponderation program, so that our member beneficiaries who availed of loans way back 10-15 years can restructure their loan amortization. So we are condoning the penalties so that they can start paying again and help them in the process, instead of the SHFC getting back again the houses that they have availed of 10-15 years ago. And later on, 12 CMP modalities will be introduced and announced by the SHFC president. So with that, I would like to congratulate SHFC for being still a teenager. Happy 16th founding anniversary.
Thank you so much, Secretary Rosario.
Thank you, sir. Good.
And now for our ulat sa pamayanan, may I call on our President, Attorney Arnolfo Ricardo Camilo.
Our first Secretary of Human Settlement and Urban Development, our Chairman of the Board of Social Housing Finance Corporation, Secretary, Partner General Eduardo Rosario, our members of the board, Director Alina, Director Reyes, and Director Capullo, our Executive Vice President, Attorney Jupiter Cayo, and all our officers, senior officers right here, our staff, our visitors and guests, friends from the media, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. This week, our institution is celebrating its 60th anniversary. SHFC is actually a government-owned and controlled corporation that was created in 2004 and commenced operation only in 2005 with a specific mandate to provide shelter financing to low-income groups, both in the formal and informal sectors of the Philippine society. Such mandate is a difficult one, for it provides shelter services to the homeless and the underprivileged without sacrificing and compromising the financial viability of the corporation. In fact, we can even consider such mandate a noble one, for we are serving the unbankable sector, and at the same time pursuing financial viability. Through the years, and I may say 15 years of operations, Social Housing Finance Corporation has endeavored to achieve positive outcomes for these two tasks. And so today, I would like to thank all the people, our Secretary, the Chairman of our Board, Secretary Dr. Rosario, the members of the Board of Directors, the officers and employees, former officers and former employees of social housing, as well as our partners, the local government units, our mobilizers, our civil society members, and yes, the communities who have availed and will avail of our programs for helping us to be one of the most vibrant government corporations. I may say vibrant because Social Housing Finance Corporation is continuously pursuing flexible, affordable, innovative, and responsive shelter solutions, or fair shelter solutions, to address the needs of the low-income groups, the unbankable so-called, without sacrificing its financial bottom line. All of your efforts have resulted in SHFC becoming a stronger and dynamic shelter agency of the government. And so I'm proud to share with you this morning the results or the fruits of our 16 years of labor, so to speak. Allow me to report some of the highlights of our accomplishments last year. With respect to program performance, for 2019, SHFC has released a total of 2.481 billion in loan assistance for the community mortgage program and high-density housing program, benefiting 32,797 informal settler families. Ladies and gentlemen, this number of beneficiaries is 138% higher than the 2018 accomplishment and 31% more than the 2019 corporate target of 25,000 ISF set by the GCG. Moreover, we are very proud to report that the last year's number of assisted families is the highest in the history of social housing, especially as far as the CMP program is concerned. What is CMP? CMP is our major financial program. The CMP is a shelter financing scheme whereby government housing loans are availed by organized communities of informal settlers for their shelter needs, such as land acquisition, site development, and house construction. It was actually operationalized in 1998, and in 2004, its administration was transferred to SHFC for the National Home Mortgage Finance Corporation. For 2019, the CMP was able to release 1.62 billion worth of loans and assisted 29,718 ISFs. This number is again the highest in the history of the CMP. Since 1998, the CMP has been averaging an annual beneficiary of around 12,000 artisans per year. The 210 accomplishments, or the 2019 accomplishment of 29,672 is a significant increase. This big jump is a result of the reforms and strategic thinking that we have pursued throughout the years. With respect to financial viability, please take note that for 2019, initial estimates indicate that loan amortization collections have reached 1.11 billion. This is the second straight year that collection have breached the 1 billion mark. Initial estimates show that current collection efficiency rate rose to 72.03%. This is a substantial increase from the 69.05% accomplishment in 2018. Please take note that such performance in collection efficiency is a clear manifestation that our related clients, the lowest income groups, the homeless, the underprivileged, can pay. Thanks to our flexible terms and relevant capacity building, we can say that the unbankable sector can be bankable. All in all, these collection accomplishments have led to a better financial bottom lines for Social Housing Finance Corporation. Initial estimates have pegged Social Housing Finance Corporation's net operating income for 2019 to 181.66 million. This represents a 35% increase from the 219 corporate target of 140 million set by GCG. These financial accomplishments likewise prove that SHFC is a sound financial institution, an income-generating government-owned and controlled corporation, and one that rather assists the administration in improving its fiscal position. Please take note that SHFC has regularly paid corporate income taxes and remitted dividends to the national treasury since its operationalization in 2005. It has paid a total of 1.246 billion in income taxes and dividends from 2005 to 2018. With respect to organizational accomplishments, SHFC's core processes under its quality management system have once again conformed to ISO 901-215 standard as certified by Socotec Registrars Philippines on December 19, 2019. This is the fourth straight year that the quality management system has been certified to be at par with international quality standard. We have also received the latest results of the client satisfaction survey conducted by the UP National College of Public Administration Governance for 2019. And the verdict is that SHFC has garnered a 92.41% positive rating, meaning they are satisfied and satisfied, based from the survey of its stakeholders. SHFC was recognized also as a gender-sensitive and responsive workplace last year. The Philippine Commission on Women bestowed SHFC and its flagship program, the CMP. So SHFC as an institution was recognized, and the program itself, the CMP program, received dating pala citations on August 4, 2018, in recognition of its efforts in pursuing gender equality and women's empowerment within the program and among its clientele. And lastly, in the 2019 Asia Pacific Forum and the Ateneo Manila Study, SHFC's programs and projects was considered and was described as gaining, meaning it has transformed informal communities successfully to formal communities. These are the accomplishments that SHFC did and which we are very thankful of, and we want to share this as we celebrate to everyone, to all our stakeholders as we celebrate our 60th founding anniversary. Magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Thank you so much, Attorney Gabi. And And now to give us a brief background on socialized interest rates, horizontal application of payment, penalty condonation, and our new modalities, I call on our Executive Vice President, Attorney June Calot.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, our Secretary, all the members of the board. So jumping off from our breakthrough accomplishment last year, this year we want to ensure that more low-income families will own their homes. How do we ensure that? Firstly, starting January this year, SHFC is adopting reduced or socialized interest rates for full package availment of loans under the Community Mortgage Program or CMP. Full package means a loan for land acquisition, site development, and house construction. The socialized rates will ease the constraints that low-income borrowers face with paying their monthly amortization. So under the socialized approach, borrowers with lower household income will pay lower interest rates. Thus, households within the lowest two income deciles, including those with incomes below the poverty threshold, based on the results of the latest Family Income and Expenditure Survey, will pay an interest rate of only 2%. This new rate is a huge reduction from the original 6%, as already mentioned earlier. It is also the lowest ever in the history of housing finance in the country. So we are really pushing boundaries with these new rates. In addition, the repayment term is extended to 35 years from the original 25 years, so that we can further ease the burden on the lowest income borrowers, who comprise the majority of our CMP availers. So they comprise around 80% of our availers, those lowest income groups.
Yung 1 to 80%.
On the other hand, the families in the third decile will pay an interest rate of 4%, while those in the fourth to seventh decile will pay 4.5%. And lastly, families in the 8th to 10th decile, or those who have the highest capacity, will continue to be charged at the original rate of 6%. They will all have a repayment term of 30 years. So our rates have become very progressive. But aside from this, we also have good news for those who have already availed of loans but are falling behind on their payments. SHFC also seeks to alleviate their burden and get them on track in achieving their dreams by offering the penalty condonation program under Republic Act 9507. The loan restructuring scheme covers partner homeowners, that's how we call our beneficiaries, with accumulated arrearages equivalent to at least 3 months amortization, except for those who have previously availed of the benefits under Republic Act 9507. This loan relief initiative will give economically depressed partner homeowners an opportunity to easily update their accounts because they will no longer have to pay the accumulated penalties and surcharges incurred from unpaid amortization. As a result, they will be able to save their homes from possible foreclosure, or worse, from a collection suit. They will save themselves from a collection suit. So we are hoping that our partner homeowners will immediately file their application for PENCON this year. Also, we are introducing new modalities so that we can keep pace with the growing demand for safe, resilient, and sustainable housing. So we are introducing these trailblazing financing programs with the launch of 12 CMP modalities. These 12 modalities address the varied needs and preferences of various sectors. Like we said, we are very inclusive. For example, we cater not only to urban communities but also rural ones. So for the urban communities, we offer the vertical CMP so we can optimize the properties within highly urbanized cities. For rural communities, we introduced the farm lot. For more examples, these modalities would include housing for peace process and nation building, which is being implemented right now in Zamboanga City and Marawi City, and also post-disaster recovery and rehabilitation, which is offered for families affected by disasters, such as those rendered homeless by typhoons, Yolanda, and Sendong. And this same modality may also be offered for those who will be rendered homeless by the eruption of Taal volcano. And in fact, we have created a new department, the Recovery Project Department, just to address immediately the needs of those who are affected by disasters. The other CMP modalities are on-site and site upgrading, special and national government agency projects, such as those in Intramuros and those who will be affected by the expansion of the POTR Railway or the PNR Railway, local government unit, sectoral CMP, farmland CMP, as mentioned earlier, industrial workers CMP, that we hope will increase the number of families who will acquire their own homes for 2020 and beyond. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the breakthrough accomplishments that we have just reported, and also the things that we want to do in the coming years so that we can further strengthen our resolve to achieve our mandate. So at this point, it is with great pleasure that I congratulate all the hard-working employees and officers of SHFC led by our President Attorney Kabling. They have been all instrumental for our achievements. I am sure that with the strong commitment of the organization and its leadership, these successes will be sustained this year and in the years beyond. We also thank our board members who are present here, and of course, our District Secretary, Eduardo Del Rosario, who is the chairman of the SHFC board, for steering us into a direction where we can help the poorest more. Sa aming ika-16 na anibersaryo, samahan ninyo kami na tuparin ang pangarap ng mga maralitang Pilipino na magkaroon ng isang bahay na magsisilbing bantayog ng isang matatag, maginhawa at panatag na komunidad. Maraming salamat po at magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat, Attorney Payot. And now, on to our next presenter, may I call on Attorney Leo De Ocampo for the launching of Hinabi newsletter.
Thank you, Dean. Honorable Secretary Eduardo Del Rosario, our President, Arnolfo Kabling, AVP Jude, our Honorable Board of Directors, media partners, NGO partners, POs who are present today, community association officers and members, guests, good morning. What does the name Hinabi mean? The word Hinabi encapsulates the principles that are key to SHFC success. In Visayan languages, Hinabi means to have a conversation, not so much with words but with heart and mind. It speaks of empathy and respect for the other person's dignity. This is what we do in SHFC with each housing project we undertake. We engage the communities in a respectful dialogue. We listen to their stories and get to know their needs, problems, as well as their own ideas to solving them. We then help them weave together their dreams and ideas into reality. And this is where the other meaning of Hinabi comes in. For in Tagalog, Hinabi means woven together. Indeed, in SHFC, we do not just provide houses. We weave families together into a strong and sustainable communities. Thus, the Visayan meaning of Hinabi captures the process of our work with communities, while its Tagalog meaning captures the product of our work for them. It covers both the means, and the end. Because of its bilingual meaning, Hinabi also speaks to the inclusive approach of SHFC. We work with communities in every corner of the country, regardless of their language, religion, or ethnic grouping, but always with a view to prioritizing the underserved and low-income communities in neglected regions. Finally, Hinabi celebrates Filipino values and traditions. Its Visayan meaning of conversing and listening with the heart celebrates the value of pakikiramay, while its Tagalog meaning of being woven together celebrates the values of solidarity and bayanihan. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and pride to present to you our SHFC's official newsletter, The Hinabi.
Marami pong salamat, Attorney Leo. And now, for our closing remarks, may I invite our OIC SVP for Legal Partners Policy Enforcement Group, Attorney Ronaldo B. Safo.
Thank you. Happy anniversary, SHFC. In behalf of the entire SHFC family, we thank you all for coming and witnessing our own ulat sa pamayanan. Also especially to our Secretary and Chairman of the Board, Eduardo Del Rosario. Well, you just heard SHFC's success story for the last 16 years. We saw a maturing rise during this administration. But that is not all. The best is yet to come. So brace yourselves. You just have heard, with this reform now being implemented, the best will surely come. For example, to implement these reforms and to better serve our communities and clientele, we will open our new offices in Quezon City, right across the City Hall of QC. Courtesy, of course, of our Secretary and Chairman. This is in solidarity with all other QSAs to house in one house the housing agencies. That is in addition to 18 satellite and branches offices all over the Philippines. So what is next for SHFC? Dahil po teenager pa lang kami, with 16, expect po that we will come of age. Imagine if we can do these things when we are teenager, how much more we come of age. So, with that, let me also invite everyone to our gala night. We'll be happening later in the day. As a snippet, we will be awarding performers of SHFC, and of course, those who have contributed so much for the success of social housing. This will be having a Filipiniana team, and expect that bongga ito. And with that, on behalf of the entire SHFC family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney Safo. On that note, we now open the floor for questions. Again, on the floor, we have DSUD Secretary Eduardo Del Rosario, SHFC President Attorney Arnolfo Ricardo Cabli, and SHFC Executive Vice President Attorney June Fepayo. Again, good morning po. Questions? Maybe we can get the mic na lang and then.
Hello, good morning. I'm Ralph Rivas of Rattler. Question po regarding dun sa disasters, yung mga maapektuhan, particularly dun sa Calvino. Can you give us a walkthrough of paano yung availment doon and yung qualifications? At saka kung magkano yung maximum. May ganun ba?
Sure.
Hello. We are actually assisting legally organized communities. We don't have prepared houses. We already had an initial visit to the communities. We have extended our relief goods from SHFC, although minimal, but from our heart, and we've started talking to them. That's the reason why SHFC created a new department, the Department of Quick Response and Recovery Program. We asked them if they're interested, we organize them, especially now that they insist on staying on their sites. So we asked them that how we can extend our help, and if they agree and they accept our concept of doing things which is community-based, which is people's plan, we will sit down with them, organize them, and plan with them. So we want to be resettled somewhere else, we can finance their plan and their dreams. But it has to be...
So far, I think on your end, you have extended that option. Pero meron na po bang community or group that was expressed?
Actually not yet because they are still insisting on staying. Sometimes it's a matter of accepting that it's already not a habitable place. But I think it has to be the task force of the disaster group, the SWD, to do the briefing and reorientation before we could come into the picture.
This is a different scenario, and it will not most likely go the normal system of them organizing if they were adversely affected. For disaster-stricken communities, it's actually the National Housing Authority that would come in and be directed by the government to construct housing for displaced persons. The SHFC can come in also if there is an organized community, a community mortgage program. At ang understanding dito, they will be paying for what SHFC will finance. But for the modality being offered by the National Housing Authority and for disaster-stricken families, the President is always open to give them full grant. So it's either the local government who will purchase the lots, and the national government undertakes the land or site development and actual construction of houses. In all these situations, the main problem is the available lots for residential development. So malaki ang factor yung participation ng local government units to provide the lots so that the national government can undertake the interventions of site development and actual housing construction.
Sorry, one more question po. On the 2%, it's actually very low. That's actually lower than inflation. Meron po ba kayong limit? Kasi syempre, it's lower than inflation. So in the entire loan portfolio, may allocated kayo na ilang percentage yung bibigyan nyo ng 2% lang?
At least 30%.
So the lowest interest rate of 2% will may be availed only by families who belong to the lowest 2 deciles, meaning second decile, the threshold for that is around 21,600. And within that would be those below the poverty threshold of around 10,700. So if your income is below 21,700, you will only pay an interest rate of 2%.
Sorry, sir, but what I meant was in
30% lang of the total portfolio.
Yes. Your entire portfolio, ilang percent?
So right now, the portfolio of full package availment is only around 1/3 of the total portfolio of SHFC. And we have done a financial viability study for this before it was approved by our board.
And it's
Yes, it's viable.
And we could not actually go lower than 2% because there was a study
Yes, sir.
inflation
Kasi,
rate. And the inflation rate for the last 2 years actually is within
80% of our member beneficiaries belong doon sa
lower than
first
2%.
two deciles.
And the highest I think was just a little above
30%,
no?
1/3.
So that's why we said that would be our
Kasi sir,
lowest interest
hindi
rate
lahat
because
kasi
we
ay
can
nagpo-full
go
package.
lower than the inflation
So yung
rate.
full package lang ay 1/3 lang ako muna this year. So yung iba sir,
Pero matutulungan natin 80% kung full.
kung full package, yes sir, yes sir.
Good morning, sir.
Saan ba yun?
Anyway, sir, how soon do you think will your agency work closely with the provincial and municipalities in Batangas to come up with a course of recovery? Are you starting now and looking at the volcano island, which has been declared as a permanent danger zone? What will happen now to the residents? Will your agency work closely to come up with a program for resettlement of residents in volcano island?
Okay, it's like this, ano. The declaration of the permanent danger zone was premised on the possibility of eruption. What we are experiencing now are just signs of the Big Bang of the Taal volcano erupting. So it's alert level number 4, and it is alert level number 4 because of the signs of Taal volcano being monitored by PBOX. Now, as experienced before, the volcano may or may not erupt. If it will not erupt, the permanent danger zone will be removed and the residents will be allowed to go back. Okay? So the need for permanent settlement is on hold pending as to whether the volcano will erupt or not. Now, assuming worst case scenario, it will erupt. We coordinated with the provincial government already, and I was given a list of possible resettlement sites, about 800,000 hectares. So, with this data, I have coordinated with the National Housing Authority so that they can plan already for massive resettlement of initial estimate as of now is about 22,000 families. If that happens, 22,000 housing units can be built if we will have a full-scale construction within a year or a year and a half. So the problem is, where will they stay before the construction is completed? So that is the now the evacuation centers will come in, and we have available 1,000 units in Batangas that can be fixed and used in a month's time. So we are preparing for the worst case scenario, and the government is ready for this eventuality.
Sir, when you talk about the 800,000 hectares, where will that be located? Have you identified these areas?
Yes. 800 hectares, ano? Not 800,000. Napakarami pala na. 800 hectares. One I recalled, it was sent to me, Rosario, in the municipality of Rosario, and 4 others. It was relayed actually to me just yesterday.
Sir, initially, what is the cost that you're looking at, the initial cost?
Well, if we peg the cost at 500,000 per unit,
and it's 22,000, then we are looking at 11 billion for 22,000.
That's only for housing.
Everything.
Everything.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
For Secretary.
But of course, it depends on the total number of units. I said the initial estimate is 22,000. If it becomes 50,000, then it becomes 25 billion.
Sir, by the way, the 1,000 units that is there now, right now, I mean, how soon can our people in those areas affected by the eruption can really take advantage of the offer?
The provincial government is now putting lights and water to that facility. It was constructed in the previous administration. It's the AFP, PNP housing unit that were not occupied. So we will use that existing 1,000 units if ever there is a need for the provincial government to resettle some families to that place. I think it's is there a municipality called Itbaan in Batangas? Itbaan? Yeah, Itbaan. In the municipality of Itbaan. Oh, Ibaan. Itbaan is in Batanes. Yes. Ibaan. Yeah, Ibaan.
If it was finished and the PNP were not up to standards, and that's the reason why maybe these units have not been occupied, but they are.
It's a temporary settlement. It's a temporary settlement. Will be used as temporary settlement.
Hi, sir. Mans po from Negative 5. Sir, if ever lang po na matuloy po yung resettlement, malaki-laki po yung kailangan, kayo pa po ba na for that? Or hindi rin tayo supplemental?
It will be, of course, supplemental. Kasi yung budget natin for 2020, nakalatag na yan eh. So, I think I have read in the newspaper that Congress would like to allocate about 30 billion as supplemental budget. If ever there will be a need and the Taal volcano will ever erupt. So yung 30 billion, if we are only talking about housing, as I've said, if it's 22,000, we need 11 billion. So the remaining amount of money can be used, of course, for other relief assistance.
Sir, kasi before, kung karoon ng question sa NPC, natanong namin ang gusto na magkano na video voice. So parang sinabi yata na kami mismo na mag-aagay na maghanap ng lupa, at titignan nyo, then magkakawaran kayo ng may-ari. So, doon pa paano po ang magiging sistema po?
For permanent shelter, temporary manager.
Wala kang kakayahan. So, paano mag-aakap ko ng lupa? Sasabihin ko sa inyo.
That is the concept of the community mortgage program. A homeowner association will organize themselves, maybe 200, 300 members. They are ISF. They live in government lands, private lands, or danger zones. Then they look for a lot, negotiate with the lot owner, and once they have the terms of purchase, they seek now the assistance of SHFC, and that is the first phase. We said when it is full phase, it's purchase of the lot. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is land development, and phase 3 is the actual construction of housing units.
So, sino sila makikipag-negotiate sa landlord?
It's the association, the community. We don't deal with the landowners.
Kasi parang hindi ko nakikita na government yung iba. Maraming kinidimos, hindi nila parang pinupropose yung proyekto.
No, it's being availed. Actually, yung mga projects ng SHFC are those affected by the ISF resettlement.
Question?
Talaga ba sa puno ka mahihirap na siya talaga? Parang may narinig ako, may mga pera naman, may kakayahang kumuha, pero kumuha dito sa SHFC.
Formal sector, sir. Pwede naman formal sector. Low income. Well, the mandate states that we cater to the lowest income bracket. okay, or low income bracket, both formal and informal sector. So that's why po sa aming mga projects, may nahalo pong mga teachers, mga police officers. And what is important in our project is we want them to have commonality or homogeneity. It's either pareha sila nasa danger zone or affected by government project or affected by calamity, or they come from one sector, teachers, market vendors. Why is it important? It's an important element of our project. Para po ma-maintain namin yung sense of neighborhood, it's easier for us to tap the Bahenian spirit. And if there's Bahenian spirit, it can really help lower down the cost of housing production. Kasi pwede pagtulungan yung mga aspekto through bayanihan, halimbawa ang road development, ang opening of canals. That's what we do it. And that's how we do the project. And secondly din po, we really encourage po a mixture of formal and informal and people from the different walks of life. So probably, hindi naman masyadong varied because we don't do housing which is being offered to the public. Kasi may open mo sa public yan siya, and you market to the public. Subdivision project na yun. Di ba? So you need license from HLRB now, the requirement. Yung sa amin kasi, is the community that wants to build their own houses. They're the one doing it. We just finance their plans and their dreams. Now, kung may 30% from danger zone, may 30% affected by government project, and there are 30% professionals, we'll appreciate it. Kasi mas maganda ho yung maging kultura, maganda ho yung maging development with respect to value formation and the development of the areas. So, those who would like to avail, marami ho kami. We tell them we go to Pag-ibig, but they say we want to be here because kasama kami doon sa danger zone. Ba't ka nag-build doon? Kasi yung kapitbahay namin, lumakad kami together. So, umunlad kami, but we still want to be with them. So, we welcome them.
And it normally happens, ano? Kasi yung mga nag-occupy ng mga private lands, kapag na-negotiate nila na bibili nyo, ang mga nakatira doon, informal and formal. In fact, in one of our CMP programs, meron pa kang police at teacher na nakatira. So, kasi they are now a community. They form themselves as homeowners association. So, ando na lahat. So, pagka nabili yung lupa para sa kanila, kasi sila bumili noon, kaya lang nag-loan sila sa Social Housing Finance Corporation. So, pasasagasaan yun, formal and informal. Pero karamihan mga informal settlers.
And also, as we have mentioned earlier, they can avail, they too, yung mga higher income groups can also avail of our programs, but they will pay at a higher interest rate kung full package siya. So 6% pa rin ang sa kanila. So walang leakage doon sa ating highly subsidized na interest rates. And also, as mentioned by our president, we encourage this kasi mahirap naman kung puro mahihirap or those who are extreme poor yung nasa community, no? Kasi what if they have projects, meron silang mga gustong i-undertake na projects like daycare centers, mga ganun. Kung lahat sila ay mahihirap, they will be hard pressed to raise resources. So kailangan din natin yung other income groups who can help the community, no? So kailangan nila magtulungan through bayanihan, so they put their resources, they can pool their resources.
Thank you so much for your answers.
Okay, yes. Okay. So as I had said earlier, yung poverty threshold is around 10,700 pesos. The first decile, the upper limit of the first decile is 16,292. And the upper limit of the second decile is 21,600. So if your income is 21,600 or below, you pay an interest rate of 2%. Okay? And so on. So yung third decile naman is 25,190. So 4% sila. So yan yung upper threshold nila. Ngayon, for 4th to 7th decile, the upper threshold for the 7th decile is 48,900. So you pay a 4.5% interest rate, no, for that. Ang 8th to 10th decile, 148,930 yung kanilang upper limit, no? So if your income is between 60,600 to 148,000 and above, 6% kayo. So you will pay at the original rate of 6%. So wala pong leakage sa ating subsidy. We want to make sure that those who can afford will really pay the market rate, no? Or the highest interest rate, while the lowest income households will pay the lowest rates of 2%.
Alam niyo ba kung gaano karami itong makaka-avail nitong first and second decile and lower? About 80%. 80% ang pagkakumuha ng complete package. Dahil yung mga poorest of the poor natin, pag pumasok dito, first, second decile and lower, ang mangyayari dyan, 80% of the total. Kaya marami tayong matutulungan with this program. Pero kasi nag-avail ng 3 phases, yung sinabi kanina na 1/3 lang. Pero kung titingnan natin, ang mahagip nitong first, second decile and lower, 80% of the total. Yung total, yung
apartment, and they use the income deciles that were provided by the FIES, the Family Income and Expenditure Survey. So tinignan namin yung mga previous projects namin, ano yung mga income ng mga tao. So and then we classified them according doon sa 10 deciles ng national government. So yung 10 deciles really is based sa national population natin. So we found that most of our borrowers belong to the first 2 deciles. So 80% of our borrowers belong to the the lowest 2 deciles.
It's like this po. We have 2 programs. We have 2 basic programs. The on-site and the off-site. Yung off-site po, meron tayong modalities. Ibig sabihin, lilipat sila. Panibagong tirahan, panibagong location. And usually po, complete package yun. They want to buy a land, they want to have a site development, and they want to construct houses. Yung off-site po natin, which yun talaga nagiging simulang programa ng SHFC, marami ho yun, yung nakatira sa private properties. To avoid demolitions and evictions, they negotiate with the landowner. Huwag nila kami demolish, magbabayad kami. Anong pabayad nila? Napakamahal na presyo ng lupa. So, they borrow from us. No? So, usually po, mas marami po sa aming portfolio ang on-site.
Nalag lang yung
kasi the Philippine setup. Diba? Marami nakatira sa mga pribadong lupa. So, yun namang mga nasa danger zones, saka affected by government project, kailangan ilikas. Ilipat sa ibang lugar. Diba? So, yun po ang ating mga off-site. In totality po, 30% lang po yung availment ng ating off-site. And out of that 30%, 80% of that can avail of the 2% package. Yung ating pong on-site, nakatira na doon, usually stable sila. Kasi matagal na sa doon, may mga bahay na sila. Diba? It just need incremental development and improvements. Yun po, ang ating interest rate doon, 6% pa rin po. Kasi sinasabi namin, mas mahirap po yung trabaho ng social housing with respect to on-site. Kasi, could you imagine, nakatira sa private property, walang arrangement yan. Walang proper order yan. So we have to deal with them. It's a struggle. We have to let them agree. We have to make them organize themselves. We have to do re-engineering on the site. We have to do re-architecturing. We have to ask them to undertake re-blocking because we have to meet the minimum standard of BP 220. No? So dapat may minimum road width, dapat may open space. So we have a lot of things to do. That's why we're saying we keep the 6% interest rate because of administrative cost. But for those in danger zones na kailangan ilikas or affected by calamities, doon kami nag-a-adjust sa aming interest rate. And that is just 30% of our portfolio. And out of that, 80% talaga na nakatira sa danger zones. Belonging talaga to the lowest decile.
want to confirm. So, before you said 80% of your total client will be available
Base
or
na nag-a-avail.
So, is it safe to say that 80% of the
Explain mo yung full kwan kasi. Yung 3 phases.
Sige.
It's more than 1% of the total client that you're receiving. 80% no, and you may tap the 2%.
Okay. So okay. So we have 3 types of loans, no? Land acquisition loan, okay, which is what is availed by those who are on site, yung mga communities who are occupying private land na hindi sa kanila, but they already have houses. So what they want to do is only to secure their on the tenure and ownership in the land that they are illegally occupying. So they will only apply for a loan, for a land acquisition loan. Okay. We also have a site dev loan and then house construction loan. No? Kung land acquisition lang, it's a smaller amount compared doon sa full package, no? Na land, site dev and house construction, which is availed of by those who wanna relocate. Okay, so off-site siya. So since malaki yung combination ng 3 loans na yon, land acquisition, site dev, and house con, we decided that we will assist those who will avail of the full package through our socialized rates of 2%. No, kasi malaki masyado if you avail of the 3 loans at the same time. Kaya we assist them by lowering the interest rates.
Questions?
Nalito sila ng yung 1/3 saka yung 80%.
Yes. Oo nga.
Hi po, sir, pang-subside lang po. Yung assurance po natin sa public na since napakamura po ng interest, asahan naman nila yung quality na yung mga hinatigiran nila. Since di ba po may mga napapabalitan sa government housing, medyo mababa yung
This is not government housing.
It's like this. Ang programa po namin is financing. Okay, we lend them money, but we assist that money. We supervise that money. We just don't give it to them. We supervise the money. So we make it sure na mapunta sa landowner. We make it sure na tama yung site development at saka yung house construction. But remember, this is their money. They borrow it from us. The moment we approve their loans, it's their money. We simply supervise their money. So ang aming pong sinasabi, ang aming program is people's plan. They plan it. It's their dream. We just finance their dream. Okay? We organize them. We conduct workshop. We give empowerment seminars. We teach them house construction. We teach them purchasing. We teach them interpreting the house plan. And we ask them to participate in every phase of the project. From the site development, to the negotiations, to house construction, we ask them to be there on rotation. So they supervise also their own project. So far, the communities or the structures built by social housing as revealed by the Asia Pacific study conducted by Ateneo de Manila University, many of our clientele were really satisfied. And in fact, they said, it is really gaining and it has transformed many communities from informal to formal. So far, we don't have that problem. And to further boost that problem and to solve that problem, we also undertake accreditation of our contractors. So we ask them, it is your choice to choose the contractor. It's your project. We're just financing your project. We are merely supervising you. So they can choose from our accredited contractors. But if they don't like to, we ask them, sino gusto nyo? But we have to do accreditation. We have to check the capacity. We have to check the capability. And we have to check the track record of that particular contractor. That's how social housing do it.
You mentioned about substandard.
Yes, sir.
Kasi hindi ito ang gobyerno nagpapagawa. Ang nagpapagawa sila. Nag-loan sila, binigyan natin ng pera para ipagawa nila. Sila din ang kumukuha ng contractor or developer, hindi ang social housing. Kaya kung naging substandard yan, ang ginagawa ngayon ng oversight function ng SHFC to ensure na yung mga beneficiaries natin, target beneficiaries, hindi masyadong maloko. In fact, very strict on board. Pati sa pag-purchase ng lupa, hindi kami pumapayag pag nakita namin na masyadong overpriced. Marami na kaming hindi inallow na homeowner association will purchase this lot dahil masyadong overpriced. Pagka inallow namin yon at binayaran yung lupa, sino magsasuffer? Sila din. So sasabihin namin, don't buy it. We will not give you money to buy it. Buy. Sa zonal valuation, sa appraised value, kinukonsider ng board yan. Pag nakita namin na mataas sa market value, zonal valuation, ang lupa, we will not allow it. Hindi namin pauutangin dahil naloloko lang sila nung nagbebenta ng lupa.
Sa house construction, sa design.
Sa house construction, pati yung amount ng building per square meter, merong valuation yung contractor nila, may valuation ang SHFC. Pag merong difference, ang sabihin namin, magkuhan kayo. Reconcile. Kung ang gusto ng contractor, yung amount niya, we will not finance it. So, walang mangyayaring financing. So, that's how we protect our members.
Okay, last question.
Sorry, ulitin ko na lang. Magkano po ba on average yung inuutang ng poorest families for a unit?
Siling ng Hudson. Or si Jude Faye? Jude.
Okay. Depende siya. May mga thresholds set by DSUD. No, okay, let's say 700,000. Yung monthly amortization niya for that would be around, let me just check.
Kondo yan.
Would be around 4,000, mga ganun. Let's say 4,000. That's for the 6%. So kung 6% siya, ang monthly amortization ay around 4,000. Pero kung 2% naman, that would be around 2,000 na lang. So almost half. So ganun yung impact ng pag-reduce ng ating 2%. From 6% to 2%, na-reduce by half yung monthly amortization.
So sir, tama sir, on average, mga 700,000 yung typical.
That's just one of the thresholds.
Condominium.
Yun yung condominium in a highly urbanized city yata. So there are many thresholds.
Actually, we follow the ceiling set by the department. Kung ano yung socialized housing ceiling ng kabuuan ng housing industry, yun po ang sinusunod. Ang ceiling po right now set by our department, or formerly the HUDC, if it's going to be vertical, for highly urbanized areas, it's 750,000 per unit. Now, medyo hindi yung highly urbanized, 700,000. Vertical yan. We have been doing vertical houses. Now, for horizontal, ang ceiling po ng HUDC, na at least 36 square meters yung floor area. May standards po sinet ang department. It has to be 580,000. We cannot go higher, but we can go lower. Kasi may mga indigenous materials in the provinces, at saka may mga new innovations po sa technology natin with respect to construction materials. But everything po has to pass through the processes, meaning kung innovative materials po, it has to be certified also by ITEC, supervised also by the department. We have to follow the required strength that it should withstand a wind velocity of 250,000 per kilometer per hour, and it could withstand an earthquake magnitude of
7.2.
7.2.
Okay. On that note, may we invite Attorney yung final message po sa ating media partners and beneficiaries.
First, thank you very much for joining us in our celebration, in our Thanksgiving, as we celebrate our 60th founding anniversary. Thank you very much from the bottom of our heart. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, as media partners, we would like to continue requesting you help us. You help us disseminate the right information with respect to housing programs for government, because there are those members of our community who do not know how to go through the process, or do not even know that there is such a program, or do not know how to avail of such a program. SHFC has been trying to bring the services near to the people. We are now fully decentralized. We have opened several regional offices and operations areas offices. We divided ourselves into 9 regions, 3 in Luzon, North Luzon, Central and South, 2 in NCR, Mega Manila 1, Mega Manila 2, and 2 in Visayas, Eastern and Western, and as well as 2 in Mindanao, with several satellite offices. So they can contact us in our head office here in Makati, so they can get information as to where our other offices are. And we are really trying, as we said, we are offering fair shelter solutions. The R there is responsive. So we could be flexible for the F, depending on the need of the locality. And we always have in mind that it has to be pro-poor, and it has to really be serving the Filipino people. Right now, we have about homeless 6.2 to 6.3 Filipinos, and data will show that it's increasing by 90,000 a year. So we have to catch up. That's why we're trying to modify, we're trying to evolve our program, and to accelerate our delivery of services. Because that is the instruction of our President President Duterte. We have to fast track everything and finish your projects within his term. So hopefully, we can do so much within his last remaining term. Sir.
Well, I think my final message is very simple. How do we view house ownership in the housing sector? We view it as a need and a right of the Filipino people. And it is our responsibility to assist them. Thank you very much.
On that note, again, maraming salamat po sa aming media partners. Vice Secretary Rosario, Attorney Gabriel, Attorney Julfe, maraming salamat po. Everybody, lunch is served. Thank you. Again, my website po kami, it's SHFCPH.com. And also may Facebook din po kami media partners, pwede pong i-like ang aming Facebook for updates. It's SHFCPH sa Facebook. Thank you.
Thank you.
The best part, kain tayo. Kulang tayo doon.
Yes, sir. Ano ba? Shall i-serve dito? Bigyan lang po ako ng cards.
Ito po.
Thank you very much.
Traveler ka pala. So parang sa business, housing?
Business po. Business part. Kasi yung binanggit nyo kanina on yung housing sa yung PNAFP, is it accurate to say na yung mga unoccupied pwede siyang temporary relocation?
Actually, it's for permanent.
For permanent dapat,
exigency na ito eh. Exigency na ito. Kung kailangan talaga ng temporary bago yung final settlement areas occupancy at makumpleto construction, we can modify.
Tapos nilalagay pa.
Okay, so mga kaibigan, yan po, napanood nyo at natunghayan, nasaksihan, narinig po ang ginawang pag-uulat sa bayan nitong SHFC, Social Housing Finance Corporation. Kaya po doon sa mga kababayan natin, yung mga wala pang bahay na sarili at gusto magkaroon po ng sariling bahay, ay ito na po ang pagkakataon at pwede po kayo magsadya sa tanggapan ng SHFC sa Makati City po. No? At kung ano naman, ay tumawag lang po kayo dito sa amin sa programang Utol, hanapin nyo po ako at kung kailangan nyo, ay ibibigay ko po ang contact person doon para makapunta po kayo sa kanila. Bueno mga kaibigan, at pasamantala siguro ay patuloy muna natin at medyo magpaalam muna tayo ngayon dito sa ating programang Utol at muli po magbabalik po tayo araw ng bukas para sa iba pa nating tatalakayin. Muli po mga kaibigan, ako po yung naging kasama, kahuntahan, kajaming, katropa pips, kakosa, kadabar cats, Rosel Lopez at nakasama natin sa technical side si Joshua Mendoza. Magandang hapon Pilipinas, hasta la vista.
Usapin, talakayin. Opinyon, lilinawin kasama si Rosel Lopez, umaarangkada sa Spear Cyber TV. Mga OFWs, gusto nyo bang malibang at makibalita sa mga nangyayari sa Pilipinas? Samahan si Tita Lou Medina. Sama-sama nating pag-usapan ang inyong mga karanasan abroad. Basta ikaw, OFW.